Welcome to Faith, Flour, and Mason Jars. I'm Leah, and this is my little southern kitchen. Today we're going to be making our favorite balsamic vinaigrette. I'm going to show you how to make it in bulk, and then I'm going to show you how to make it with single serving, and then I'm going to tell you how we love to use it. So this is going to be 5 batches in one. This will last us for a couple of months. We're going to start off by peeling and mincing 5 garlic cloves. As you can see, I'm still using my little garlic press thing that I got at Cracker Barrel. I do have a new one that I'm going to try to use, so we'll see what happens with that one. After you use 5 garlic cloves and you mince those up, you're going to go ahead and put a heaping 1/4 cup of Dijon mustard. You're going to make sure it's heaping just to give it a little bit more flavor. After you do that, you're going to take some salt. We like to use 2 1/4 teaspoons of salt. We try to use some kind of sea salt or whatever you like the best. As far as the saltiness, or even when we put that same amount of pepper in, the 2 1/4 teaspoon of pepper, you might think that seems a little bit much, but it really does have good flavor, not too salty, and it doesn't need salt or pepper. So 2 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 2 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. We like the really fine ground pepper. And as you can see, we buy everything in bulk at our house. Number one, it saves a lot of money by doing it that way. We do have the storage space, and then we don't have to buy stuff for a while then. So now we're gonna go ahead and add the balsamic vinegar and the olive oil. Like I said, we buy everything in bulk, so we buy this olive oil by the cases. And you're gonna see when I go to pour this is a brand new jug of olive oil. You're gonna see that I didn't do what I should do when I used it the first time. So you'll see I'm going to pour it into my measuring cup. We're gonna want 4 1/2 cups of olive oil. And as you can see, it's going so slow. I forgot to poke a hole in it. But we're gonna only deal with that for this first cup, and then we're gonna poke a hole in it. It just has a little bit more air movement and makes the olive oil come out faster, because nobody's got time for to dinker around with olive oil. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna grab my can opener and just poke a little hole in the back just to make the olive oil come out a little bit faster. So that's all you got to do, just a little tiny hole. So we're going to continue to add the olive oil. Like I said, we're going to add a total of 4 1/2 cups of olive oil. And as you can probably hear the dogs barking, someone just came to our house. We got 2 Chihuahuas, and they are super protective of our place. So that's the 4th cup. One of my handiest tools in the kitchen that you probably see me use on every video is my little scrapers. I have so many of those because we use them all the time. We don't like to waste anything. And now we're adding the last 1/2 cup of olive oil. So we're going to do, like I said, 4 1/2 cups total. Now we're going to add the balsamic vinegar. And as you can see, we buy that bulk as well. We have a couple of these down in the basement. So give it a couple shakes. I don't know if you need to shake it, but just most things seem like you should shake it a little bit. So I get a couple shakes. I always shake it away from the kitchen floor because I don't want to mess in case the lid would actually open. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to add about an 1/8 cup or a little bit more of balsamic vinegar. So 1 1/8 cup of balsamic vinegar. And then we're going to add the honey. We're going to add right about a 1/2 cup of honey, and which is the reason that I love this recipe so much. If you look on the back of salad dressing, the balsamic vinegar salad dressing that you buy at the store, you will see that it has so much sugar in it. And we really try to make sure our blood sugars are stabilized at our house. And so we use honey for anything that we can. So like I said, we're going to use a 1/2 cup of honey. There's no white sugar in this balsamic vinaigrette, and we love it. Like I said, this is our favorite. Joe, I would always just like try to mix up something that tasted okay. And Joe is not a complainer, never will ever complain. And it just never had like that, I can't wait to have salad again. So I went online and I started looking at recipes, and I found several recipes I liked. So I combined them, and this is what I came up with. So as you see, I did mix this in my food processor. Super easy. Just go ahead, let it run for a little bit. I did make one mistake that I think that I should have done differently and that I did the last time is I put the plastic little cutter thing in the food processor. I wish I would have put the metal one in. That way, if any of the pieces of garlic were a little big, it would have chopped them up a little bit finer, but it's okay. It all works out good. Now you can shake this by hand like I'm going to show you on when we make the single serving, but to make it a little bit thicker, you'll want to use a food processor or a blender. This makes the dressing a little bit thicker. So then we're just going to go ahead and add this to our salad dressing container. And we do not store this in the fridge. You can do whatever you want, but I don't have time to let salad dressing thaw and the oil to melt. So we just store this right beside the stove in our little cabinet. And we've been doing this for quite a while now. And this salad dressing, like I said, will last us for at least a couple of months. So you're just going to pour that in there. We like this on just regular salads. We like it when we do like a blend of tomatoes, onions diced fine, and feta cheese. And then we throw some freshly milled croutons in there that I make. That is a treat in summer. We love this stuff. Sometimes if I'm wanting a salady type side dish, but I just don't have it in me to make a whole salad because I'm tired, then I'll just drizzle some of this on like some cucumbers. This is fantastic any way you decide to make it, but those are some of our favorite ways. So we got that. You'll see that I often will always make sure I wipe the outside of all the containers because we don't need anything sticky. We don't want to try to attract any ants or anything. So we always just wipe everything down with a damp cloth, even though I know pretty much certain that nothing splashed on it. But guys, this is really good. And so I would encourage you to go ahead and give it a try and see if this is a flavor that you love. You can do, like I said, I'm gonna show you the next batch here, how to do like a single serving or enough for like a couple of salads. You'll have to let me know what you think. I would love it, love it, love it so much if you could share this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. That is so helpful and I appreciate it so much. So you can see about what 5 times the normal batch makes for this salad dressing. Super easy. A lot of these ingredients you have on hand. And it's just amazing. So now we're going to do the small serving. And don't worry, I'm going to drop all of these recipes at the end of the video. That way you could take a screenshot of them and try them yourself. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start off by 1 large garlic clove and then we're going to mince it. You're going to peel it and mince it. I can't tell you how excited I am to use my new little garlic mincer thing that I got in the mail on Friday. So I cannot wait to try that out. I haven't had a chance yet. So we're going to mince 1 garlic clove into that jar. And we're going to take the Dijon mustard and we're going to add 1 tablespoon. And I always kind of go a little heaping on the Dijon mustard. I don't know why, but I do. Add that to the jar. Like I said, my little handy dandy scraper, we scrape everything out. We don't want anything to go to waste. We are so grateful for all the blessings that God gave us in our lives. And then we're going to add some honey. You can add 2 tablespoons of honey. Like I said, this is what suits us. If you think it's too sweet, add less. If you think it needs a little bit more sweetener, add some more. One thing that we do love is honey does not seem to affect our blood sugar. I know honey is not great for some people's blood sugar, but we buy honey by the gallon and it does not seem to affect our blood sugar. But yet I am very cautious about what all, how much honey we put in things. We try to put the bare minimum, but it does not seem to affect our blood sugar. I do have a sister whose honey does affect her blood sugar. So, test yours out, try it, and then see what happens. Alrighty, now we're going to add the salt. We're going to add a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And then we're going to add a 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. And then we're going to add the balsamic vinegar. You're going to add a 1/4 cup. Give it a couple shakes. Add a 1/4 cup. I love this balsamic vinegar dispenser, but it takes forever sometimes for the vinegar to come out because it has a cool little pour spout that helps you not spill it all over the place. But usually by the time you end up filling that 1/4 cup measuring cup, you want to throw it up against the wall. I should have used a wide mouth jar. That would have been a little bit easier, but I had a narrow mouth upstairs and I just really didn't feel like running down to the basement just to get a wide mouth jar. So that's why I'm having to tinker around a little bit with getting it in there. So then you're going to add the olive oil, and we do 3/4 cup of olive oil. You can add oregano to this recipe. I'd like to try it sometime, but we love it so much without it that we have not added it. And I think sometime we will try it, but it's just another thing that you have to add, another thing you have to make sure you have on hand. So like I said, we don't use any oregano, but if you decide to use oregano, I would try maybe like a 1/2 teaspoon or less and then build up to that. You could use dried oregano. That's probably what I would use because that's not something that I have on hand fresh a lot. So anyways, as you can see, I just cleaned off the honey around the top, and you'll see why the food processor is so easy. This thing, you're gonna have to shake until your arms fall off, and then you're gonna have to open it up, stir it, and shake again. And then this salad dressing, because we're hand mixing it, it's not gonna be as thick. We like when it's thick and it hangs onto the lettuce leaves. So you're just gonna shake it, and you can see that the honey is still hanging out on the bottom. A little bit frustrating. You could actually probably even use like an immersion blender too. I just thought about that. If you would put it in like a wide mouth jar or something like that. So I'm gonna give it a couple stirs to stir that honey up that's on the bottom that is not cooperating with me. But let me know if you ever tried it, if you ever tried this recipe. I'd love to hear feedback. We also have a Facebook page, Faith Flour and Mason Jars, and I'm fixing to start a Instagram page as well. So I would love it if you give me a follow on both of those. From my little southern kitchen to yours, I'm grateful you're here today. Y'all come back now.